Before you buy your next truck body, you need to watch this video. Hi, my name is Kyle Coberline. I'm with Bluegrass Truck, Bus, and RV in Georgetown, Kentucky. We also have a location in London, but I'm based here in Georgetown. And today I'm going to talk about the difference between sheet post boxes versus a Duraplate. And this will be quick, but this will help you out when you're trying to figure out what's your next body going to be on your box truck. So this is a US truck body. This is sheet and post. Great, even though it's a sheet and post body, they do a great job building these. This is an awesome choice. It's not really saying one's better or worse than the other. It's about knowing the differences so you can choose what's best for your company. So at the very top, you'll notice it's a casted aluminum corner cap, way more durable, way easier to keep it sealed up. They recess that light, just way less likely, it's tiny in my video, but yeah, right, there's a little tiny recessed light. And that just keeps it protected from tree branches and stuff and getting tore up. That's super common. So it's a really well thought out design, extremely durable. That cast aluminum also doesn't flex with weather and temperature as much, so you don't end up with like getting the leaks from the water and whatnot. And then of course this is your corner radius. It's an extruded aluminum. If you look at some of the body companies, it's just the corner radius is just a sheet of metal going around in the corner radius. That's not near as durable or as rigid or hold up to being smacked as much as something that's extruded like this, where you can tell like where it's got those dimensions to it. That's going to make it a lot stronger and just take a lot more beating over the years. Looking down the body, US truck body, they put rivets 2 inches apart for extra durability, and instead of just having rivets where the sheets come together, they have rivets at every post going down through the box. This is truly a box designed to last a long time. Down through here, you can see where it's bolted into the, I'm having a brain fart, your cross members for the wall. And then down here, you'll see US truck body does a really good job of undercoating these. You can see there's like a little bit of runs right here, which I could care less. I'd much rather have too much material where it rain a little bit, just to prevent all that corrosion and rust over the years. And once again, we're trying to make something that's going to last a long time. And then along with that corrosion, their mud flap hanger is stainless as well. So we're really eliminating a lot of things with corrosion and rust in something that can last a long time. Another little neat thing that US truck body does is when they torque these bolts to specifications, they paint them. That tells them, hey, we torqued that correctly. And then our technician knows that when he, they're going to be retorqued after the truck's been driven some, and so our technician, our lead tech Donnie, he'll check this and say, he'll know to go back and retorque those after some use. Coming across the back, your rear frame, it's not just a painted galvanized, which over time we see rust and corrosion and paint peeling. It is stainless steel all the way up and around. Of course, we're now US truck body mounted. We mounted this camera, but they've also mounted some of them for us. But the stainless all the way around. Boy, I'm struggling today. Stainless all the way around. And of course, you have your aluminum lift gate. Since this is going into our rental fleet, we do a lift gate and a walk ramp. Most customers who are buying trucks, they know which one they need, one or the other. Looking into the box, this is really neat. They don't do like a perfectly flat floor going in. It drops down just a hair at where the door hits, and that's so that when water is coming down the door, it's hitting this and running off of the box and not inside the box. Some companies will put like a little rain gutter here, but that gets stuff in it and just dirt and grime and debris, and this is much cleaner and easier to keep clean. Of course, all your typical stuff, plywood, interior walls, E-track, and then a galvanized steel scuff plate down at the bottom, to protect it from a forklift, and of course your wood floor. This is set up for a forklift package with the steel plating inside. Some companies also, what you'll notice is this plating they put inside, it'll have like a gap here where water can work its way underneath it over time and do some rotting. They put a solid weld across there to keep all that water sealed out, since you're at the rear of the door. This box, of course, it's got some LED lights in it. There's some switch right here. And then, of course, your switch for the lift gate. I love giving Donnie a hard time. So, Donnie, tell me real quick, what is your favorite thing about this box we just got from US Truck Body?
The light system on the box is recessed where they don't get tore off with tree limbs and things of that nature.
Because we're fixing those all the time.
Because we're always having them knocked off there if they're
and DOT, you got to have them.
Yes, sir.
Our wash bay now, and this is one of our new rental trucks. Hasn't even been beautifully identified yet with Bluegrass Idealease, but this is that Duraplate body, and I'm going to talk about it and kind of show you the differences and the benefits with this one. Starting at the corner, just like I did with the sheet and post body over here, you still got that extruded aluminum corner radius. You still get their casted aluminum corner cap, but the difference is the wall structure. We have now gone to a Duraplate body. It is a 4-foot panel, so basically from here to here, you've got a panel, and it's like tongue and groove. Each of those panels is put together, clamped and bonded to create a solid wall. There is no post inside the box. I will show you that. It works. It's beautiful for graphics. Now, when you do add E-track and scuff plates, they do through bolt through that wall. And once again, through bolt. That's the key. Not screwed into the wall. They through bolted. I love things being through bolted. So they through bolt that wall for E-track and scuff plates. And so that's what those, you can tell, that's what those caps are covering bolts. That's where it's through bolted E-track. But if it wasn't for that, this would be a completely smooth wall. So customers who really care about like beautiful, easy to apply graphics, the Duraplate body has an edge there. And even though we've got the E-track and stuff, a lot of people, customers will put their graphics up here at the top. We still have a huge, nice, smooth surface up there above the E-track to put our decaling. Same thing with the mud flap, same thing with the undercoating, same thing with the cross members. One thing I didn't mention on the cross members on the other one, which is the same, is they put these flanges in every other cross member for durability to make it even that much more durable. I mean, these Duraplate bodies, and even possibly that aluminum sheet body, I mean, they're going to outlive the chassis. These are, I would definitely give a little bit of a heads to the Duraplate body in the sense that, this is something that could probably most likely be rolled over to a new truck and be kind of cleaned up just a little bit and be a great body still to use. Or when we go to sell it used to somebody, it's still a very useful box for them. So that lip and the scuff plate and the forklift packaging and the welding, that's all the same as the other box. But the magic is in the fact that it's that Duraplate wall, sidewall and front wall. That Duraplate is a composite material that's in the middle, and it is sandwiched with 2 pieces of bread. But those 2 pieces of bread are steel, and you got that composite in between. That allows them to make an extremely strong wall, but thinner. And so one of the key advantages to this box is the fact that from the distance from interior at the base of the floor all the way across to the other side, you gain 3 inches of space inside this box from side to side due to the fact of how that wall's made. Another thing you'll notice, it's all white inside with a Duraplate body. It makes it a lot brighter. One of the examples we were given too, you don't have all that wood in there on the walls. So in cases where customer, like linen companies that are dealing with like wet laundry and things that may have some odor to them, there's not near the wood to absorb those odors and to linger inside of the box. You can see where we've added the E-track. This stuff is extremely durable. I mean, I don't want to test it for myself, but it should be very difficult to put a fork. Like if you put a fork into the plywood of a box, and we've seen it happen, go through the outside sheet aluminum, this is a whole nother level of that's just rare to see. More or less what we would typically see if a fork hits something is it's going to scuff it, scrape it, scratch it, but not actually go through it, and that's something that can be cleaned up a little easier. Same thing with having some lights in it. The Duraplate body, we're going to weigh these, but spec-wise, they say comparable box, 26-foot to 26-foot box. This is something that's probably a couple 100 pounds lighter. Now, disadvantage to this box is it's going to cost a little bit more. So if if you're interested in knowing, hey, sales guys and sales team and leasing rental people, can you let me know what the difference would be versus your typical sheet and post versus if I went with a Duraplate body? It's not terrible. I mean, it's not terrible at all actually, but there is a little more cost associated to a Duraplate body. Thing that I'll note at the back of this truck is their grab handle is 18 inches long instead of your typical 12. It is also stainless. I mean, this truly, like, you know, when we're buying stuff with the rental fleet, we're going to sell this used. You know, we want stuff that's going to look really nice, and then it's going to also have a great second life purchase, use when we sell it used. Because we want to take care of our customers. You know, as a dealership, we sell new trucks, we sell used trucks, we lease trucks, we rent trucks, and we want to take care of our customers when we're renting the truck, and then we want to take care of our customers when we sell one of our super quality used trucks out of our fleet. Putting Donnie on the spot again, what's your favorite thing about the Duraplate body?
When I install the decals on the box, I don't have the rivets sticking out, and I can get the decals to lay flat without having to roll the rivets in on the decals.
Nice. Once again, my name is Kyle Coberline. I'm with Bluegrass Truck, Bus, and RV. These are trucks that are actually going into our company, Bluegrass Idealease, for our rental department. And of course, we convert them to leases and stuff too if people want to lease them long term. But thanks again for checking out one of our videos. We're happy to answer questions. Reach out to us, whether it be me and James and Keenan and Leanne and Billy. And all our people are very knowledgeable, happy to help, and love educating. Thanks again.